Hello and welcome to our WordPress tutorials brought to you by wpwiz.net. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about caching. Caching can make your website a lot faster, even if you're on a shared hosting environment like GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, or any of these. What does caching actually do? Well, caching reduces the amount of communication between PHP, the web server, and the database significantly. So if people repeatedly look at the same content, let's take your homepage for example, without caching, every time this homepage is loaded, there have to be queries made to the database to pull content like your widgets or your latest comments or things like that, or even just your post data. So caching plugins, they avoid the need of the web server to constantly query the database, and this can mean an impressive speed gain to your website. Not to mention that this also has an impact on your search engine optimization. So on your ranking, Google prefers pages that are very quick in loading. So let me show you a quick way of installing a cache plugin. And as always with WordPress plugins, there's a large variety and there's a lot of good caching plugins. I usually prefer the ones that are simpler to use, especially for less experienced users. It's better to have plugins that work out of the box and don't require a lot of tweaking. So let's add a new plugin at this point, and our preferred plugin today is QuickCache. So go to search plugins, and you should see the first result being QuickCache, speed without compromise. Hit install now. OK. And then once it's downloaded, hit activate. Once the plugin is activated, you will see it down here in the bottom, and we'll click on the config options of the plugin. By default, QuickCache is off, so let's turn it on. It's the first button, and pretty much this is actually it. This makes WordPress be cached already. So everything you need to do right now is basically just scroll to the bottom and click Save All Changes. There are a few settings that you can modify up here, but quite frankly, most of them don't need to be tweaked and are quite fine the way they are. There is, however, one setting that I would recommend you touch, and it's called Cache Expiration Time. This basically identifies the time that needs to pass by before the cache gets deleted and renewed with fresh data. So as it says here, if you don't update your site much, you could set this to a week. But if you even just update your blog once a day, more or less, I would turn these 3,600 seconds, which is 1 hour, into something like more like 10 hours. This will ensure that even if you don't have a visitor every hour, they will still experience a quick, snappy website. That said, we'll hit Save All Changes. Now, how do you actually know that your website is cached? Well, first of all, you're not going to experience a cached website when you're logged in as an administrator or when you're logged in generally speaking, because logged in users usually want fresh content. So what you have to do to experience the speed of the website, you have to log out and go back to your personal blog, which in this case is our demo website, and you should experience significant speed increases when loading pages in this environment here. But if you don't quite trust your own judgment, there's also a way to look at the source code of your website. So if you hit View Page Source, you will come to the source code of your website, and if you scroll to the very bottom of that, you will see something similar to the text that is shown on the screen. And this will be something like this. This QuickCache file was built for the website you're doing it for, and the time it needed, and the date, and when it will automatically expire. If you see this message, that means that your page has been successfully cached, and you should see quite dramatic speed improvements, because QuickCache is actually a really good plugin. There are other caching plugins out there like WP Super Cache, Hyper Cache, W3C Total Cache. I personally think QuickCache is a really good compromise between ease of use and performance. You can always get a bit more performance out of some of the plugins that offer more options. But for a small blog, this is the perfect plugin to use. Again, this is WordPress QuickCache. Thank you for listening to our tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and it was useful to you. Make sure you check out wpwiz.net and hope to see you around soon.